Hello, everyone, and welcome to Finishline Pro, the markup, design, and engine your project needs. My name is Juliana, and I work in marketing here at MicroCAD. And today's presenter is Robert Gadbo, CEO of Markup X. At today's webinar, we will introduce and explore Finishline Pro, the new integrated markup experience combined with a powerful design and layout engine. Throughout the webinar, you can ask a question at any given point on the left-hand corner. You can ask Robert to revisit a step or ask any questions. This is your time, and we want you to make the most of it. And in the upper left-hand corner, you will find links to our social media and website. And also, please make sure to check our YouTube channel. We post all of our webinars there at the end, so you can share with colleagues or rewatch it on your own time. And without further ado, we'll pass it on to Robert.
Great, thank you. I'm going to share my screen here. So hopefully everyone can see my screen. I'm not much of a PowerPoint person, but I'll go through a couple slides just to kind of talk to you about what we are showing you here today. So basically, this product came about around the time COVID. We had customers coming to us saying, hey, can you help us alleviate the pain that we're having with our markups? All of our staff are working from home. They don't have the dual monitors of the setup that they had in the office, and they just want a better way to be able to make sure they are addressing all of their markups. So basically, what is Finishline? So it's an add-on to Autodesk software, Revit, Civil 3D, AutoCAD right now. It doesn't do it on Venture. It's kind of any AutoCAD-based product and Revit-based products. They basically brings in the markups directly from into the design software from a Bluebeam PDF. We can review the edits directly after changes are completed, and we can also insert families from a PDF right into the Revit model. Why Finishline? It eliminates the need for dual monitors. It eliminates the need to print out PDFs. The speed is the main thing. Testing has shown customers are saving up to 5 minutes per markup. The accuracy and countability, and then the ROI. So ROI, basically, we already mentioned, eliminates the need for dual monitors and printing out these sheets. It's faster navigation to the markups. You can use Bluebeam as a design software where it places families directly into Revit. And then the main thing here that came up as we were talking to customers is we want to make sure we assure that all markups are addressed. This is a major liability issue that we address with Finishline. The product itself, as I mentioned, installs on Revit and AutoCAD-based products. It doesn't require a Bluebeam license as you're using it. We actually have 3 products: Exchange, Automation, and Pro. Right now, we're only offering Pro, which is a combination of both the Exchange and Automation. The Pro introductory price is $180 a year, which is $15 a month per user per year. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into, and I'm going to show you this on Revit. Okay, so basically I have Revit. So the current workflow that people are using, what we've been told anyway, is that, you know, they're going into Bluebeam. They've got some markups in here. You know, they find the markup, figure out what sheet it's on, then they go back into Revit, and then they go and find that sheet, load it, and then try to zoom to the location and see what needs to be fixed. So what we do here is we've got this ribbon up here, so Finishline, and we're going to go to what's called Navigator. And I didn't mention this at the start. This is going to be the fastest demonstration you guys have ever seen. It's that simple. It's very easy to use. There's not a lot to it. There's a lot of power to it and a lot of stuff going on in the background. But this is going to be the fastest demo you've ever seen of software. So this Navigator panel comes up. Basically, I click on the green plus sign because I want to import a PDF. So I click on the plus sign. I'm going to grab my PDF. This has come from Bluebeam. So basically, you save out a PDF with all your markups. I go open here, and then down below here, you're going to see it importing. So there's 13 sheets in this PDF, and then also how many markups are in there. So right now we've got 14, they're loading up to 29. As it goes to the next sheet, that's going to load all the markups from that. And so once again, this is something that our users said they wanted to address because they wanted to make sure nobody is missing anything. This is a pretty small PDF here. As you can see there, I got 41 issues in there, but we're getting customers with thousands of issues, and they want to make sure that they're all being picked up. Sometimes they're very minor, like taking off an S at the end of a word, and it's so small that the users didn't see that markup. So this is actually making sure they address them. What you're seeing here at the moment is what's called our list view. This is listing all the different markups that are actually in the PDF or in Bluebeam. All you have to do in this is you click on any one of these in the list view. If I click on it, what it's going to do is it's going to load the sheet, it's going to zoom to the location, and then it's going to display the markup. So there's the sheet loaded, there's the markup being displayed, and it zooms right to it. The longest thing there was actually the loading of the sheet. Once that sheet's been loaded, like this is on the same sheet here, I click to it and it's very quick and easy to jump to that next markup. Now that's the list view. That's the whole idea of the list view, just helping you quickly navigate to the location. If I double click on any one of these, which will take me into what's called the edit mode. There's not a lot of stuff here to do in the edit mode. This is showing you the PDF. This is the original PDF out of Bluebeam. So you can just verify that the markup is correct. Okay, so there it is, says change B in here. Other things you can do is you can come in and change your statuses. If you wanted to do that, change statuses, and you can add a comment. Now, if I add a comment, it basically takes a screenshot of the model right now, and then I can type in here, says, can't do or something, okay? But really what we're trying to achieve here is we want to be able to allow the user to quickly make this markup. So they would come in here, and I'm not going to make the change. You guys probably know Revit or AutoCAD, how to make the changes. But the idea here is, okay, I know what I have to do. I'm going to make this change. I'm going to change it to B. Once I'm done, I made that change, the user just comes up here and say, yep, it's completed. When they do that, it automatically takes them then to the very next one. So they don't have to go back to Bluebeam. Okay, what do I have to do next? It's automatically taking them to the right location. But also down below, you'll see that the numbers start to go down. So now there's 40 of 41 to do. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Oh, yep, I made that change. I'm going to say completed. It goes to the very next one, and the numbers drop down to 39. That's it. That's as simple as it gets. Now, every time I did that completed, what actually happens there, just so you know, is we're automatically creating a snapshot of your model and putting in the comments. So who completed it, things like that. All right. So that's what we started out with. When we built this thing, that's what, users were asking us to do. But then they started seeing what we could do with it, and they're asking us if we can do a little bit more. So if I get out of this, I'm going to come up here to filter. We got a lot of different ways to filter. Now, the reason those numbers are going down is because I have completed turned off. So whenever I change something to completed, it's unchecked. So it's taken that number away. If I want to see all the markups again, absolutely, I could just check that box and see them again. We also have the ability to, if you're using the property assignee or assigned to or anything like that, you could filter out by who they're assigned to or what sheet names or descriptions you want to do. Down at the bottom here, though, I'm going to uncheck this show markups. Okay. And I'm going to go okay. And now you'll see in here, well, I've got single flush door. I got 2 chairs in here and a window. Same thing. I'm going to double click on one of these. When I double click on it, it's going to load the sheet. Once again, it's going to zoom to the location and it's going to display this markup. And so there it is. That's a chair. There's the chair here. Okay. I'm going to turn that off. We have the ability also to make it transparent. So if you have one of your markups that's a little bold or, you used a cloud and it's not no transparency, you can easily do that, make it transparent. In this situation, I just want to turn it off. I don't even want to see it. So there's the chair. Now I have an option here. It says place the family. So I click on this place family. And now I've just placed that family right into the Revit model. So this is pulled from the current project here and placed it in there. And I'll show you how I did that in a moment. All right, so that's all good. I'm going to say, yep, that's completed. Let's go to the next one. There's a window. Okay, same thing. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to go place the family. And now, because this is a hosted family, it's not going to put it in there automatically. It's going to allow you to place it wherever you actually need to. So I'm going to say, let's just place it right here. And then once I've placed it, you could turn around and edit the sill height or anything that you need to do there. I'm just going to right click and cancel this. And same thing, I'm going to go completed. And this is now taking me back to this view here. Okay. It's as simple as that. Now, how did I do that? That's where a lot of people want to know. All we're actually doing there, so I'm going to just zoom out here. And let's just go to a chair. Let's say one of these chairs here. All right. So I'm just going to stay right there. So inside Bluebeam now, we've got a lot of things that we're going to do with this. But placing those families right now, that's easy. We can do those instance families like furniture and doors and windows and walls. We're working on in the next release, which won't be too far away in the new year, is systems. So we're getting customers, you know, mechanical contractors, electrical contractors saying, hey, we use Bluebeam to kind of lay out the whole system in there. And so the users will be able to draw like a polyline inside Bluebeam. We can give it properties in there so we know when it comes back in here, we can draw that entire system, right elevation, the right sizes, things like that. So how do we do that right now? So if I go in here to Bluebeam, all right, so here's Bluebeam. If I just want to say, you know, what I want to do here is make that chair as a, so I can insert that family in there. So I'm just going to go to my tool chest. And as you can see in here, I add it in all the time, but I'm just going to show you. So basically what I'm going to do here is we're going to just copy this, make a snapshot, and I'm going to paste it. All right. So there it is. Now, once I've pasted that, I'm going to right click and I'm going to add it to my tool chest. I'm going to say, add it to the construction symbol. Okay. It's right down there. It just says snapshot. Okay. So now I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of this real quick. Okay. Now back into Revit. All I'm going to do is just click in there and grab this item. And I'm going to come up here and say, copy the family name and type. The dialog box comes up. I just click on it and it automatically copies it. You don't have to do right click copy or anything like that. Just click in there. It automatically copies it. And so now I can go back to Bluebeam in here and I can either place this name here. Okay, if I wanted to, I could actually go into, say, the properties, and maybe I want to maybe I have a custom field where I want to place it. So I could put it in a custom field. You can do whatever you want. You know, you can create any custom field, but we need to tell it where it's looking for these properties later. And so now if I come back to where I was, let's go back to my tool chest. And so now I could actually just click and place this in there. You can rotate it. We know the rotation and everything when we place this back into Revit. Okay. So if I go back to Revit here one more time. So let's say you use your own custom field. It can be whatever you want. All you're actually doing in here is coming up here to settings and you specify where that should be looking for that property. Is it family and type? Is it subject? Is it layer? Is it assignee? Do you have your own custom one? That's all there is to it, is being able to do that. Okay. That's it. So now the next thing I want to show here, whoops, need to deactivate my view here. The next thing, let's go ahead and unfilter, show everything again, is, you know, I've made some changes. I'm down to 37 markups in here. Well, let's say some more markups were added into Bluebeam and maybe some statuses were changed and all that kind of stuff. All you end up having to do now, I don't want to wipe those out. I just hit there, refresh. They just keep overwriting the original PDF. I hit refresh and then I just say update. If I hit replace, it wipes out all my statuses that I've already done. I just hit on this update and it'll actually bring in any new markups that are actually in the model. And there should be a new chair in here. But it keeps all my other statuses. So you can see these were actually ones that were completed before. And I'm going to have those filtered out so they'll go away here in a second. So I think we'll have probably 42 markups now because I added it. But basically we do any markups. You know, we do the clouds, we do, back into here. As you can see in here, we've tested it with squiggles and we can throw in images and the stamps. This is a stamp. It'll bring in all your markups that you actually have inside Bluebeam. Once again, I told you it was one of the fastest presentations you've ever seen. That's the product. It's really simple. There's no real training required from anybody. They can pick this up. Everybody that's actually started using it said they can use it right now, right out of the box. The key here, though, is the main thing is to make sure that your sheet name here matches the sheet here. So when you're creating these PDFs, ideally to use the Bluebeam add-in when you do it, but there's ways inside Bluebeam, of course, to make sure. But this is how we know this sheet here is this one here. That's how we know where to place these markups. Questions? Comments? Anything?
Thank you, Robert, for that beautiful presentation. It was fast and to the point. I think we all like that.
Yes.
And we go into the questions. So as a reminder for everybody, you can ask a question on the left-hand corner. And the first question we have is, what is included in a Finishline license?
So basically right now, like I said, when we're doing the markups here, when we're talking about doing a markup, this is what's called exchange, okay? Placing the families is called automation, okay? Eventually we will separate those into two separate products that some people, once the automation is more mature, but right now we're saying you get the entire product right now for $180. Okay, so it's $180 per user. They're not networkable. It's just per user per year, which is $15 a month. But like I said, eventually we will make automation separate, or both of them will be separate once we get the systems in there more mature. So the other thing that I want to address here too, that the question hasn't come up, or maybe it has, but I can't see it, is eventually we will have a direct connection to Bluebeam. So you do not have to save out the PDFs. And right now, once you complete these, you have to go back to Bluebeam and say, that's done, that's done, that's done, that's done. But the whole idea of what we wanted to try to achieve here is hopefully you can see how fast you can get to these markups. You can address those. Yes, it's a drawback right now that you have to save a PDF. We understand that, but the API for the new Bluebeam is not out. We've been told last week that it should, or this week, sorry, that it should be out the first part of January. So once that's out, that's absolutely our #1 priority, is so you can have a direct link back and forth to Bluebeam if you want to. We'll always still have this PDF for people that don't want that. But unfortunately, if we have the direct link, you'll probably have to be using a Bluebeam license at the same time. Right now, this process doesn't require you to use a Bluebeam license. Hopefully that wasn't too much I just threw at you.
Okay. No, that was perfect. Thank you, Robert. Second question is, which devices are compatible with Finishline?
Devices. Not sure what that means. I mean, definitely, anything on the Revit. I mean, we don't load it on an iPad or anything.
Like Android, Mac,
I think it's right now. It's just a PC. Not a Mac and not Android. That's something we're definitely. I mean, where we want to go with this, to be honest with you, is to be able to have this in Word and Excel, so users can mark up PDFs from Word and Excel and be able to bring that stuff in. And we got ideas to go to BIM 360 and a lot of different things. But right now we're starting right here on the PC. If we feel like we want to go to an Android or something like that, then yeah, we can definitely look at that too.
And I'm sure you will get there. Thank you. And the next question is, I have a project starting soon. How quickly can I start using Finishline?
Monday. Well, this is actually going to be officially released for Revit on Monday. AutoCAD may be ready by Monday. We just, I've got a couple of little things we want to finish up, but we're going to start selling this. Well, we sold some today, but Monday is basically going to be our official release of for the Revit.
Amazing. So there you have it, everybody. I think we don't have any more questions. So that concluded this webinar. Thank you, Robert, so much for your time. And thank you everyone for attending. Please make sure to check our website for future webinars. And yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you, Robert.
Great. Thank you.